Welcome to Phantastic Physics. I'm going to show you some really cool physics using this device right here. It's called an electromagnetic ring launcher. And so here's my ring. It's just an aluminum ring. I'm going to drop it on my launcher here. And when I push the button, watch what happens. Whoa. Okay, I'll show one more time and then we'll talk about the physics of how this thing works. Very easy to build at home, by the way. Okay, so there's my launcher. How does it work? Let's find out. Okay, so how does an electromagnetic ring launcher actually work? Well, remember there's a ring that's made of aluminum and it's sitting on top of these coils of wire. These are copper wire strands that are wrapped tightly all the way up to this point here. And it is insulated, so it's got that red coating around it. And that way I can touch the wires without getting electrocuted. And there is a cord that plugs into the wall that's going to pull electricity into this device. And that electricity is going to move through these coils of wire. And so it turns out if you have a coil of wire and there's a current, an electric current running through it, what that does is it generates a magnetic field within that coil. And so now that there's a magnetic field, that magnetic field is going to generate another current inside of this aluminum ring. And that's what we call an eddy current. So the current through this red wire is generating a magnetic field. That magnetic field generates a secondary current inside of this aluminum ring. So all the electrons are going to start moving. And that current generates a second magnetic field that is in opposition to the first field. So remember, we are plugged into the wall, which means we're pulling AC electricity, not DC. And AC stands for alternating current. So that means the current flowing through these wires is actually changing direction 60 times per second. In the United States, we have 60 hertz electricity. So you can imagine the current's direction is just changing back and forth 60 times every second within this wire, which means the magnetic field's direction is changing 60 times per second, which causes a current inside of this ring to change direction 60 times per second. And that causes another magnetic field which changes direction 60 times per second. But at the end of the day, the magnetic field developed by this coil of red wire here and the magnetic field developed by this ring, even though they're changing directions rapidly, they are always in opposition to each other. And because they're in opposition, those two magnetic fields will produce a magnetic force that repels this ring off. So you get that magnetic repulsion due to the fact that you have two magnetic fields operating in different directions. And that's the way that an electromagnetic ring launcher works. And if you're wondering why this metal iron core is in the center here, it goes all the way down through these wires. It turns out that you can actually amplify the strength of the magnetic field inside of this red wire or through any loop of wire by putting a magnetic material in the core or through the center. So if I didn't have this metal in the middle, I would get a magnetic field here, which would create a second magnetic field, but they would be very weak. And so adding this iron core does amplify that field, producing a much larger magnetic force, which pushes the ring up through the air. Thank you for watching Phantastic Physics. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more interesting physics content. Goodbye for now, and remember, it's a fantastic universe out there, so stay curious.